in my way. It's the worst, but I know the drill. When there's a way, there's a will. You gotta get up.
Hey everyone, so I'm doing another request video today. I'm starting this new series. I think I'm going to call it Makeup for Dummies, because I think that a friend of mine mentioned that she seen these palettes and she called them Makeup for Dummies, and I thought that was a really cute idea. So thanks Bex for the name. I'm totally stealing it. So this is going to be number 1 in my Makeup for Dummies series, and I'm using the L'Oreal The Violets palette that you can find pretty much anywhere. And these are palettes that are numbered. So I'll either be using like palettes like this that have the 1, 2, 3, 4, or that say eyebrow, bone, you know, crease, lid, whatever, and showing you guys how to use them, maybe use them in different kind of ways. So this one specifically is a really pretty kind of violet look for daytime, and I think we can pump it up for night too. So I'm going to be following the instructions, and if you like how this looks, then you want to know how I did it, then keep watching. Okay guys, let's get started. First we're going to start off by using our eyeshadow primer. You can use any one you like, Shadow Insurance Primer Potion, FYI. I'm going to be using the NYX white base to get these colors to pop. Because we're using a L'Oreal palette, these colors tend to not be very pigmented, so a white base will help bring out the color. So just a little bit on your finger and then wipe it all over your lid. You can take it all the way up to the brow bone because we're going to be doing a highlight shade as well. Now before you get started, make sure you do your foundation, your concealer, your setting powder, your primer, not in that order, to kind of get your face all set and ready. Okay, so now this was, you know, I'd mentioned this in the intro, but this was a request by someone, and we're using the L'Oreal The Violets, and if you see really closely, they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. They're actually on the actual colors themselves. So we're going to be going by the instructions on the back. So the first instruction says to sweep subtle color all over lid using shade number 1, which is this really pretty lilac shade right here, pink shade right here. And I'm going to be using an e.l.f. brush. It's just an eyeshadow brush. Yeah, it's got like this flat, kind of thick, dense tip to it. This is really good for getting it all over. This isn't a precision tool. Okay, this is something that you just need to get a bunch of color on your lid. So go in and take color number 1 on your brush. And this is all very affordable. I'll put all the products down below so you can kind of see. But this brush was $1. This palette was maybe $3 or $4. Load your brush up and sweep that all over. So we're just going to get a nice little pink wash. You see? It's really nice and light. You can do both eyes. But having that white base kind of helps, well, obviously everything stay put, but helps that color pop a little bit more and show up a little bit more. And because, like I said, L'Oreal tends to not be very pigmented. Now, we're not talking about L'Oreal, the regular range. We're not talking about the hip range. The hip range, the colors are definitely a lot more pigmented. But this is something that's going to be good and natural for every day, but it's not brown. It's something a little different. So now that step 1 is done, step 2 is they want you to do your highlight shade, and we're going to put shade number 2 below the brow bone, which is this area right here, right underneath your eyebrow, and shade 2 is the white. So we're going to go in, we're going to, with the same brush, and a little bit of that white on there. Whites always tend to be a little pigmented, so go a little light with it, and just sweep it right here underneath the brow bone. And just gives a little bit of a highlight. You see that? There's lightening up just a teensy bit. And over here. So you have step 1 and step 2 done. So we have all of our color, we have our highlight shade done, and now we're going to start doing in the crease stuff. So step number 3 is to contour. It says blend mid-tone for depth, or say blend mid-lid for depth. So we're going to be taking shade number 3, which is that pretty lilac right here. And I'm going to be using a Tarte brush that's a bit of a crease brush. So take your crease brush, get your color on it, your number 3, which is that purple again. And we're going to take that in the crease. Now if you know where your crease is, just open your eyes. See that little line right there? That's your crease. So just go right in there. You can do this with your eyes open or eyes closed. But what this is doing is it's giving your eyes a little depth, a little more dimension. And it's actually very pretty, very subtle. If you want a little bit more, go in and add more. Now you don't necessarily need a blending brush for this look. If you go a little crazy with the color, you might want to. But see how we're just getting a little bit of subtle color there? This is a very subtle palette. If you have green eyes, this is going to look amazing. But if you've got brown eyes, it's going to work well. I'm sure it'll look great on blue eyes as well. Purple's kind of one of those colors that works basically on everyone. So again, just in the crease. Easy, easy. You don't have to worry about being too sloppy. I guess one good thing about these colors not being crazy amounts of pigmented is that you can get a little crazy with it. And it's not really going to ruin the look. So there we go. And I'll add some pictures in the end because I know the lighting's not the best in here. And until I have, you know, better camera and better lighting and all that kind of stuff we're going to do with makeup or bathroom lighting for now. Now the last step of this is to take that dark purple color and use a liner brush, or you could use, I guess, the one that they provide, and you would use the tip if you didn't have any brushes and you want to use this. Take the tip, dip it in the color vertically, just get it on the end, and they want you to line your eye with this. So I'm going to use this brush just to show you guys, but I'm going to pull out my actual liner brush. So I'm just going to take this, they want it right near your eyelashes. We're just dragging it right down there. And it'll kind of act like a liner. Now what I'm going to do for this look is actually add the L'Oreal Hip Purple Liner because I did want to show you guys, you know, some options with this look. But you could definitely do that, and it's very incredibly subtle, but it's there. Now I'm going to go grab a eyeshadow brush, or I'm sorry, a liner brush, and show you guys how to do this with a proper brush. So I'm going to be using my Smashbox number 6, and it's just a flat head brush. Really stiff, but what this does is it picks up the color really well. So go in there and get your brush kind of in there and get all that purple on there. You can use this dry or wet, but what this is, it'll give you more of an intense look. So see how that purple's going on a lot darker? And then you can really see the liner. If you wanted to intensify this even more, and I'm not going to just because I'm going to be using an actual liner in just a second here, you can wet your brush and dip it in wet, and that'll actually help intensify the color a lot more. And we're just going to pull our eye taut and get right near the lashes. So if you are antsy about working with liner, this is a good way to kind of get started. And just draw that line. It's really, really pretty. If you did want to do something a little different, you could take a smudge brush, like this one here, and go in with these colors and go right underneath the eye. So you could take, for example, this lilac shade, number 3, and just kind of connect it down here and just smudge it in, just to kind of bring the whole look together. You know, it's not necessarily, it's an optional step. You don't have to do this. But it just kind of helps bring the whole look together. Ties it in a little bit more. So now I'm going to move into the more advanced, not necessarily makeup for dummies range. Now that we're done using this and we have a really pretty, just nice lilac wash, I think this is a really great look for work especially, or for weekends or anything. It's not something you would wear maybe out for date night unless you're really, really super new to makeup. But this palette especially is perfect for daytime. I'm going to be taking my L'Oreal Hip Color Truth Cream Eyeliner in Eggplant, which is a really nice pretty purple. And I'm going to be taking my Sonia Kashuk, I don't know if these are numbered, they're not, angled brush that you can get at Target. This is the best brush to have to do cream eyeliners. If you have an angled brush, or even a brush like this, you're totally fine. It'll still work. I like using with this one. I feel like it gives me a little more control. I don't have to get all up in my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to wet the tip to kind of get things moving, because these brushes do tend to get a little stiff. Wipe it off in a paper towel or a tissue before you use it, just so you get all the gunk off of it. Open it up and go ahead and just stick that brush in there, and this is a brand new one, and just get some color on it. You get in there, work it in there. Don't be afraid to get in and get some color on there. And with the wet, you get a lot more control. Like if you guys saw my video where I used liquid liner, I had to do little dashes. With this, I feel like I have more control and I feel more confident doing one big swoop. So I'm going to pull my eye taut again, and I'm just going to run this along the line. And you see how we're getting a much more intense look? and super easy because that's what it was really easy to drag the color along. We're not worried about, you know, screwing up too much. So let's go in and just finish it off. And want to bring it all the way into, just about almost all the way into the tear duct and then all the way out to the end. I'm so sorry. I just realized I'm out of the frame. Hopefully this will help you guys. Oh, I do my other eye. Hopefully we'll get a little closer. So I'm just dragging that in, and now I have a nice full line. So I'm going to do my other, I'm going to wet the brush again because we got, you know, it's got come off a little bit. I'm so tired. I can't talk today. So just get back into the cream liner, get a little bit more on the brush, and I'm going to try and get a little lower so you guys can see. I'm so sorry about that. Here we go. So again, take the angled brush and just take it along. Do like, you know, a third of the way in, all the way up to the end, and just go in and clean it up later. So see, I have just most of my lid, but I like having a full look where it goes all the way across. So now that I've got the most of it done, I'm just going to take whatever's left on my brush and go into the corner here. And just drag it all the way across. And I like purple with this because I think it ties the look all together, but also it's an alternative to black. You don't necessarily need to do black every day. So I'm just going to go underneath here and just kind of pull it all together a little bit more and wing it out just a teensy bit. It's barely a wing, but it just helps everything look more contained. So that's it for this look. I'm actually going to go away for a second, do mascara, put my eyes up and do my cheeks, and I'll come back with the Hey guys, I'm back with the final look. I went ahead and put on my mascara. I used L'Oreal Voluminous, and I used my e.l.f. Eyelash curler to get that curl because I think I need a lot of lashes for this look because the colors are really subtle. And using that eyeliner kind of really helped. You want to do a lot of lashes on that. I used my clear brow gel to brush back my brows, and then I used Hoola to do my contouring. We talked about that before. The 1, 2, 3, so hairline into the hollows of the cheek and down on both sides. And then because I didn't want to do too much pink, I went and used my TooFaced Pink Leopard blush on the apples of my cheeks and then swept up towards my cheekbones. For my highlighter, as usual, I used High Beam, just right here, to kind of give it a little bit of a lift. Really love it. And now I'm going to just put my lip gloss on. Now because this is like a purpley pink look, I don't want to go nude because I think nude would be a little too much for daytime. I didn't want to do pink or purple because that'd be a whole lot of one color. So I'm actually going to do Grapefruit, which is a little pink in tone, but goes on kind of almost peachy. And Grapefruit is a lip glaze by Stila. I found this at J. Crew too, and I love it. It's really great for spring. So here we go. Just use the applicator, pump it up, put a little bit on, and it gives you kind of like a nude tone with a little bit of color. Really, really pretty. And that's it. That's the final look. We're all done. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you. I really love doing these Makeup for Dummies videos. So if you guys have any specific Makeup for Dummies palettes that you've seen around that you want me to show you guys how to use, or if there's anything else you'd like to do, please leave your questions, comments, requests down below in the bottom area, in the comment area, or find me on Facebook and leave me a question, comment, request, whatever there too. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Hope you have a great day and thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.